We're going live, 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 live. I'm washing wares in the kitchen. So I'm trying to get this set up right here. You guys can see me as I work. So a lot of people are saying that, you know, Errol being too big for Mikey, size was a factor in what determined the winner of this fight. You know, I heard Paulie Malignaggi, I heard Leo Santa Cruz, and a couple other people saying it was size. I even Paulie Malignaggi says that, you know, weight classes matter and all that bullshit. I don't think so. And the Paulie Malignaggi actually contradicted himself when he said that early on, even if Errol was a lightweight, he would have beaten Mikey. So then size doesn't matter. That's what you're basically saying. And then he goes on to say later on in the fight, Errol's trying to bully him. Errol was bullying him and pushing him back, and he feels the size and weight of Errol. I disagree. See, the reason why Errol's weight and size is not a factor in the fight with Mikey Garcia, at least his weight, not necessarily his length, his jab, but his and not his reach then, but his size, his physical size, his height, and his physical weight at welterweight. Why that was not much of a factor was because Mikey Garcia, this is common sense now, has defense. Defense wins you fights. Defense. Let me say it again. Mikey Garcia has defense. And defense wins you fights. Okay? Remember, Errol took the lead and held on to it early in the fight, somewhere around round 3. Errol took over the fight. So he took over the fight since round 3 onwards. Alright? So it wasn't a factor of whether or not Errol, and Mikey got a comeback in 10 and 12. He came back in 10 and 12. You could say the end of round 9 as well as the end of round 11. He was coming back. But the point is, if Errol's size, that's his weight, okay, and his height were a factor, Errol wouldn't fight, first of all, if his height was a factor, he wouldn't fight small. He was fighting Mikey small. Mikey was pushing him back, and Errol was fighting him small. That is, infighting with Mikey. If I'm the tall fighter, I want to use my reach and stay on the outside of a guy, right? So he started infighting with Mikey, and that started somewhere around, I think, the end of round 9, round 10. Mikey started fighting the inside of Errol. So if I got height and I got reach, then I want the guy to stay on the outside of me, right? Okay. The second point is size. If Errol's weight was a factor in this fight, then Errol would constantly be pushing back Mikey Garcia and beating him on the ropes, and Mikey Garcia would have gotten out of there. Because Errol punches hard enough, an accumulation of punches enough to stop a fight. Okay? Which means Mikey's defense was good enough that he was able to buffer the attacks of Errol and then come back from that and counterpunch Errol coming closer to the end of the rounds. And you would see Mikey repeatedly doing this. Now Mikey, when Errol's really on his full attack assault, which he's doing from range, by the way. So he's out here, he's throwing the leverage with the hooks and stuff, but he's doing it from the outside, off the jab. So here I am, off the jab, okay? I do my uppercut, sometimes off the jab. I'm touching up, down, then I throw a hook, whoop. And then I go to the side, or I come here, and I'm constantly doing this. Right, off the jab. And I'm sticking you with the jab all the time. Okay, I'm touching you up, I'm touching you down. Okay? So I don't throw hooks and stuff properly, so don't look at me like. But what I'm saying is, Errol's keeping him busy with the jab. He's using the stick. He's not really coming on the inside. I'm really rocking him on the inside, otherwise it'll be head to head. They touch heads. Now, once they get on the inside, Mikey sometimes closes the distance after my Errol's finished offloading his load, like Floyd Mayweather did to Pacquiao. Then he would scoot up to Errol, and they touch heads. And he angle off on Errol like this. So I drop my shoulder in here. Now what Errol would do, he gets to push back Mikey Garcia. You see, you guys gotta watch the technical side of boxing. How Errol did it was, Errol changed levels, and he dropped lower than Mikey. Errol got real low, and he got under Mikey, and he would push Mikey around on the pivot. Okay? Then he get his body shots in. Of course, they'd be blocked by Mikey. He'd catch them here and here. Huh, huh. Sometimes he catch and shoot. So if Errol throw a hook here, right, he right up on him like this, right? And Mikey do some, and then he shoot right here. So I catch, I roll it, I shoot, catch and shoot. So sometimes you catch him with an uppercut, catch Errol with an uppercut. You got caught him with a couple good uppercuts in the fight. And again, every time Errol got hit, sometimes Errol would counter, but most of the time Errol would step back. So he come with the forearm first, forearm him like this, forearm him like this, right? Pivot off the foot, lovely pivot work, and then extend the arm and touch it. See? So that's what Errol was doing. Anytime Errol found that he's getting hit by Mikey Garcia too much, what would he do? Use the forearm, head control him, pivot off the forearm, throw a couple jabs, touch him. Alright? And that's how he would get back his distance. And sometimes Mikey had to be doing like this. Mikey trying to bob and weave under it. Try to get under it. Alright? So all of that was going on. I don't know if you guys could see this stuff, but it was fun to watch. Because when Mikey keep the 2-guard on, he guard all the way down his body, all the way up the top of the head. So to catch him is not easy. Mikey's defense was good enough. That's why Errol couldn't stop him. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is defense makes a big difference. Defense makes a big difference. That's why Mikey was confident he could go against Errol Spence. Yeah, he got caught flush with a couple shots. Got the left under the left cheekbone here was marked, but it seemed as though he got that from sparring sometime before. And then on the top of his head was all red dots where the jab hit him, mostly, right? And on his nose he had a little knot. Well, nothing significant, nothing really significant that he got in terms of head punishment. And then he got some liver punches, liver punches. But again, Mikey does got his own little dose on him. So if I'm an orthodox fighter, right? I'm orthodox. Right? Protecting here. Alright, sometimes I use a 2-guard, I come to you or walk to you with 2-guard. Okay? Or sometimes I come this way. I'm coming at you, right? Regardless, Mikey realized he had to get on the inside. So what was he doing? He's coming to the Errol Spence now. Walking to him. Inching in. Right? Sometimes he'd do like this. He wouldn't inch in. He would inch in this way and then he stop and he do so. And then he come again. And he started circling this way. He started circling Errol Spence this way now. But he stayed just out of range. So my Errol Spence would touch him with the jab. Right? You saw Gennady Golovkin do the same thing to Canelo. You touch him with the jab. Just to keep range. Right? The difference was Canelo knew how to get on the inside and be explosive with it because he cut certain angles. Mikey had difficulty because Errol Spence was a little bit better than Golovkin and could see the angles that Mikey was cutting. And so Errol would adjust his pivot to make sure he's facing Mikey all the time. So here I am. Alright? And you're trying to sidestep me here. So what do? I sidestep like this. Make sure I'm with you. Every step of the way. You're on the pivot, I see you inching. So I will try and inch as well to adjust for you. So that's what Errol was doing to Mikey. So he's always directly in front of Mikey as much as possible. Floyd Mayweather did it to Manny Pacquiao. People will say, Manny Pacquiao, he's not getting the angles. No, Floyd's here, Pacquiao's a southpaw. Alright, I'm keeping my jab here, train on you, because I was establishing my jab so much. Right? I was giving you some really hard jabs. Now, I established my jab so I can control them. So no matter what you do, you know Pacquiao like to do something like this. I'm in the southpaw stance. So Pacquiao like to come in. He like to do this. Test it out. Right? He likes to do something like that, right? He likes to come in. I'm coming in this way, and I'm coming in this way, and I'm testing you out. I feel like doing this. Floyd's here. And you're looking down at him like this. It's like, So everything Pacquiao tests will adjust to the angle. See, that's what you have to understand. So Errol Spence was doing that with Mikey. What Mikey had to do. Mikey would feint one direction, feint another direction, and then he could come in. Bob and Weave would come in. And he had to rush it. So he'd be like, so Mikey would do like this. Might get Bob in the head. But he got to inch it somehow. And he's turning. So then you do like this. See, using the head to dip in and then dip back out. So he's, and two guys, you know, you gotta understand what was going on up in there. You know, it's boxing, and boxing's an intriguing thing. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to join in the live discussion, man, leave your comments. Leave your comments. I'm watching you guys. If you guys got anything in the chat section, just keep talking, and you can comment in the chat section right there. I don't know how clear this video is coming out, but it's 11 minutes in. But it's all those little subtleties and the skill of these guys. Unbelievable skill. Unbelievable skill. You know, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, to me, a very intriguing fight with a lot of skill. And you got to give, again, the shorter fighters a lot of credit for facing a taller guy like that. But Pacquiao and Mayweather, they were both welterweights. Mikey, we didn't know if he was a welterweight or not. Now, I can tell you for a fact, this dude could fight at welterweight if he wants to. And it was amazing is he could go back down to lightweight and do what he had to do. So he can be a lightweight, he can be a welterweight, he can be a junior welterweight. It's fantastic. The world's still the oyster for Mikey Garcia. That's what a lot of people don't understand. And technically speaking, man, the dude had the right idea. He just kept on coming up short. The problem with Mikey was he couldn't get to Errol Spence that easily. Okay, he couldn't. But again, it's all about, while Errol Spence was also doing feinting and all of that, both of them were doing feinting. Errol Spence had established his jab early in the fight, and that was the key. He was first. He established the jab first, be first. He was first. He established his jab. Now, if Mikey had come in, which is why they were saying he should have bull rushed him, I don't think he should have bull rushed him. I thought one of the things he should have done though was throw his jab. So if Errol throw a jab, Mikey should have thrown a jab, and Mikey should have been way out of range and working that jab. That's what Canelo did with Triple G. Canelo was far away from Triple G at first. And he's just using the ring and he's popping the jab. But he's popping the jab way outside. Way outside. So he's popping the jab way outside. Any kind of jab. You know, just popping the jab. The other thing with Mikey that he could have done on Errol Spence was, so I'm here, right? So Mikey could have done this kind of jab. I always see Floyd Mayweather let other people do it. Which is, you're here, okay? You're here, so you're outside the line of his jab. He's gonna have to throw his jab at that. So you see me here. I step this way, okay? And then I throw the jab here. It's across the line. Ha! I gotta get to you somehow. So I have to throw this jab here. Okay? So if he throws anything, it's across the line, and I come across the line and hit him with the jab. Mikey was throwing the jab on the inside of Errol Spence sometimes, which was nice, off the pivot. So let me show you a jab off the pivot. So I jab off the pivot, or I pivot off and jab. I pivot off the front foot. So that the angle changes. You can see, because I'm directly in front of you. So I step, and then I jab off the pivot. You see how different it is. Okay? If you're directly in front of me, this is you here. All right? And I step this way, and then I jab off the pivot. See, I hit you here. You would be here. I would hit you here. Of course, I jabbed away from you. I kind of just moved sideways. But I would try and creep in and jab off the pivot. Whoop, whoop. See? So that's the thing. And that's what I'm talking about, angles in boxing. Right? If you know you're the shorter guy, you got to exaggerate a lot of things. So where Mikey went short was he was a little too careful. Now, I know they said box carefully, box intelligently, but he was a little too careful, and so he never really got on the inside, which is why he had to take a risk to get really on the inside. He had to be somewhat more aggressive. He wasn't as aggressive as he needed to be. with Errol Spence. That was the problem. And when you're doing it, when you're doing things in a with a what's the word I'm looking for? When you're doing things with safety in mind, right? And him being so technical, you have to take risks, but you do what is called intelligent risk taking. So Sean Porter, for example, is kind of reckless. He explodes and comes inside. I could see a shotgun jab hitting Errol Spence a couple times. Well, with Mikey, he needed to be more explosive. So if I'm here dealing with a southpaw, I gotta get to the inside somehow, some way. I gotta come at you real fast. And I'm up on you, and I gotta be aggressive. Wah, right? I better be aggressive. Even one shot, body shot. Right? I get the body shot in. I'm up on you. I'm up on you, right? Now I know Mikey was trying to do that, but he was a little confused because of the jab, right? And he had to, because like Errol Spence need leverage to throw the straight left or the looping left, right? Sometimes you just have to walk straight into the straight left, but you walk not walking like Lamont Peterson would walk straight into it. Now walk into it, move into it, run into it, right? You got your two guard, okay? So get in there as quickly as you can, bobbing and weaving. Don't forget bobbing and weaving. Errol Spence, Lamont Peterson will just walk into them. You just walk into them. You don't want to just walk to that guy. You got to bob and weave. Make yourself a difficult target. And you coming off the side here, and he trying to control you with the jab. He's going to be sticking the jab out here, starting to stiff arm you. And you just have to, you got to get past that somehow. Yeah, you throw your jab, you know, you gotta, right? And I'm bobbing, and I'm coming in, because I want to get into you, right? I gotta get the angle, I'm coming on you, I'm gonna come in on you. You're bobbing and weave to try and get on the inside. It's very difficult to do it with a guy who has an educated jab. Vladimir Klitschko was a guy who was difficult like that. With smaller guys, especially they got educated jabs. But nonetheless, you gotta get past that jab. You gotta roll past the jab and get to the guy. All right. So he needed to be a little bit more aggressive. Now he was pacing himself as well and trying to be as calm and composed as possible to get in on Errol Spence. So it means if you're going to do that, you got to have good proper cardio to do that, as well as you'd be used to doing that. So as you move somewhat aggressively, because you will have to be aggressive. This guy can box. You got to get aggressively on him, get to the inside. Now, got to understand, Errol Spence is good on the inside. I saw Errol Spence do something that I really enjoyed. He got lower than Mikey. This tall guy collapsed really low so he could body him with the shoulder and turn Mikey where he wanted him to turn him. It was sick to watch. Sometimes using the forearm to head control where he could, you know. But that's what Mikey had to do. He had to fight Errol Spence on the inside. That was where he was going to win the fight. And that's what he had to do, because Errol Spence had established the jab from round 1. Mikey came back with his jab in round 2, and then you heard Derek James saying, "You're too lazy with the jab. You're too slow, too slow, too slow." He was very angry about that. So he wanted Errol to be on point straight through. So it's those kinds of things you have to look at. So there's a lot of technique and strategy in boxing, and I like talking about boxing because when I see these kinds of fights, this is the stuff I see. And I'm trying to demonstrate it for you guys while I'm supposed to be eating food. I'm supposed to go have an appointment in a couple minutes. I'm supposed to get out of here and do that. So, hey guys, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to show you guys a lot of stuff that these guys did. It was fantastic. Even Danny Garcia said, hey, Mikey did a lot of good things in there. And it's a tip for like guys like Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, you know, Keith Thurman. They seeing things now. Now, Errol Spence, like I said before, he's damn good. So don't expect him to just lose anytime soon. I'm sure he can make other adjustments. But by and large, and the dude, the credit to Errol Spence, he can fight on the inside. He wasn't landing much on Mikey. I'll be honest with you. He wasn't landing much on Mikey, but he can fight on the inside, though. He's a great inside fighter, too. Mikey landed some inside shots. He had more success on the inside than he had on the outside, landing shots. But, you know, Errol Spence had an answer for sometimes his inside work. Now, Mikey was able to push him back. Mikey was able to land some body shots and some head shots. But then again, certain shots he was missing. Errol Spence was getting that low that he was just throwing the hooks and he was missing with his hooks. You know, Errol's missing some of his hooks too on getting blocked, but the point is Errol was still landing on something. There are times when Mikey wasn't landing on nothing. You know, he's just throwing out air. You see him loop it, and then he head control Errol Spence. You know, but other than that, I mean, he was missing a lot. Mikey was missing a lot on Errol Spence, and that's credit to Errol. That's how good he was with his defense. So, you know, I still think though, Errol, that offensively you have room to improve when it comes to coming in on an opponent. So this is the thing I don't like you doing. I see you do this. This is great, where you're off to the side, you're jabbing them, jabbing them, jabbing them, jabbing them, bam, right? And then you come this way. You may come on this side. Come on this side. You might twist your whole body this way. And you're off center line. Whoop. Right? Ha, ha, ha. I love that. That's great. You're staying off center line. But at times, and that's why Mikey catches your ass in the head, you be ha, 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 and your head's right here. Ha, ha, ha. You can't be doing that. I know you think you're the bully, but you can't be doing that. Your head is right in the center line. That's why Mikey able to check hook you. Pow! He got to check hook you, and then he come back at you. You gotta keep your head off center line all the time, right? All the time. Otherwise, a simple little jab. I don't care how long your range is on your reach. A simple little jab will bop you in the head. Bop. And we've seen you get hit with that shot since way back in the day in the 8-rounders. So you got to get that right. But I mean, it's one of those things which it takes time to work on. But you know who else has that problem? Danny Jacobs. That's why what's his name? Knocked him down. Sergey, I forgot his name. He was the super welterweight champion once when he was super welterweight champion. I think he faced Shane Mosley. I forgot what his name is. He commentates now. You can't keep your head in the center line. You can't square up on your opponent either. I know it's one of those things that could happen very easily. It happens to all of them, all offensive fighters, right? It happens. You saw Canelo get bumped in the head. Floyd got bumped in the head against Zab Judah because of that. We saw, but it's something you have to work on. I know when you're being offensively minded, you know, you're hoping that your opponent doesn't actually come out of the shell and counterpunch you, because you never know. If the opponent somehow catches you with a punch, it could be, you know, it could be trouble, right? You saw Danny Jacobs go down with that stuff. Errol Spence might be a strong dude, but trust me, it takes a certain amount of pounds of pressure on this nugget right here, with your chin sticking out like that. And Errol, sometimes his chin is sticking out because he's busy looking to drop some shots. Tuck your fucking chin in, man. Always keep your chin in, and that's for everybody in boxing. Keep that chin in. The reason why his head wasn't flying back like that, Errol Spence with his shots and stuff, because Mikey keep his chin in. People say his chin be out. I remember the guy saying Mikey's chin is out because Mike was watching that, and his mouth was open wide. But he keeps his chin tucked if you really pay attention. He keeps his chin tucked. His defense is relatively tight. The only times when Mikey gets hit, if you pay attention, at least early in the fight, was because he kept his guard. He kept his guard, not two guard. He kept his guard down. He had his guard down. Errol Spence was able to catch him over the top. But most of the time, his guard be up. You know, he got a good defense. He got to do good defense. It's not like, oh, he choose to be defensive later on. You can't choose to be defensive later on in the fight. You actually had to practice that shit since you was a kid. Okay, it's not this is not stuff that you learn overnight. Or you choose, oh, okay, now I'm gonna shell up. No, it don't work like that. You know, and the kind of barrage that Errol Spence, he's trying to put a lot of leverage into his shots. The only reason why Mikey could take those shots because he was rolling the shots. He was taking the steam off the shot, and he had that really perfect guard that goes all the way down to your lower body, so he doesn't have to raise it or lower it, and he stayed bent behind it. You know, you see Floyd do that same thing. So defense, and let me just tell people, you cannot pay for that shit. All right. While he had to ride through the assault that Errol was coming at him with before he could mount his assault. You know, because he tried to catch and shoot every now and then. He could catch and shoot, and that anytime, if you go and watch the fight, anytime Mikey hit Errol Spence with something, Errol Spence stopped doing what he was doing, backed off, and reset. Like Marcos Maidana versus Floyd Mayweather. When Mayweather hit Floyd with Marcos Maidana with something, Marcos Maidana backed the fuck off and reset, especially a body shot. So that was the one thing. If Mikey, when they reviewed the fight, when Mikey hit Errol with a good body shot, Errol will back the fuck off. Errol is not going to stick around to trade with you and body shots. It's not going to happen, right? Anyway, guys, peace to you guys. I'm out of here. I like that Errol respect Mikey as if he was a welterweight, and a very great welterweight at that. I was able to outbox him. I think that in and of itself shows that, you know, he didn't take Mikey for granted. Because I'm telling you, man, if he had in any way, shape, or form been lapsed in this fight, Mikey would have taken advantage of the situation. But Mikey couldn't take advantage of the situation. It was just too good. So kudos to Errol Spence. But I want to say that a lot of you guys don't be bashing Mikey Garcia. If Mikey Garcia wants to stay at welterweight, he can stay at welterweight. If he wants to fight at super lightweight, he can fight at super lightweight. If he wants to fight at lightweight, he can fight at lightweight. This guy can fight in 3 fucking weight classes. All right, he wasn't competitive offensively with Errol Spence, but he hung with him. Right, he hung with him, and that's, I mean, that in and of itself is somewhat impressive. That he tactically could do. He was tactically trying to find the solution to what he should do for Errol Spence. That's what basically Mikey Garcia was doing. Peace, Insane Fighter. What's up, man? What's up, my dude? You know, I just like, you know, because I feel like boxing is a little bit counterintuitive, and a lot of people don't necessarily, they see what they want to see. You know, why do you think Mikey had the range, the distance? He was trying to close the distance. The problem Mikey had was closing the distance, you know. Insane Fighter. He's trying to close the distance on Errol Spence. Because remember, he has a shorter reach than Errol. So in the very first round, he was just watching Errol Spence. Errol Spence was establishing his jab, which that was one of the big mistakes Mikey did. When you're circling a guy, right? You try to stay just outside their range. Once Errol got that jab in, not on Mikey's body, but he's throwing the jab. Once he landed something, he landed his lead left. Errol was like, this fight is over. Okay, like Mayweather versus Pacquiao, because he found his range. Mikey had allowed him to find his range. In round 2, Mikey was the jabber. Go watch it. Mikey took away that range from Errol. But then Errol's trainer said, you're fucking throwing the jab too slow. You're too fucking slow. Pick it back up. And you know what you have to do? You know what you have to do when you're throwing at a certain angle, and you have to time this motherfucker. So, round 3, Errol got back control. But what Mikey had to do first in round 3, he had to circle Errol, so that Errol would fall short with his jab. That's what he was supposed to do. Now, Errol was clever in his footwork as well. But Mikey, because what happened was, in round 2, Robert Garcia told Mikey to close the distance. And then in round 3, Robert said, get closer to him, inch in on him. But Mikey now shouldn't have just inched in. That's the problem, right? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So, okay, so for instance, all right, let me tell you a couple guys who fought guys who were longer than them and had decent jabs. Canelo. Canelo's not this big, you know, move all around the ring kind of guy. But if you ever watch Canelo fight a guy, all right, he fights the guy, he starts off just outside the range. If he's getting tagged up, fine. The second thing that Canelo does, because he's very good at slipping jabs and so on, you see Canelo always running those drills, right? Mikey's not known for running those kinds of drills. So, it is what it is. But Canelo, he not only can slip the jab, bob and weave, he can roll under a jab, etc. Canelo knows how to explosively close the distance. And he also is tricky. I'm going to show you something. So this is Canelo. Alright? Canelo is inching in on you. Oh, you can't see my feet. Shit. Alright, so here I am standing with you, but you can't see my feet. My feet are very close together right now. Alright? But right now, I'm still standing watching you, but my front foot has just gotten closer to you. And if I do like this now my front foot is even closer to you. So that's how you inch in on your opponent. It looks like I'm not moving because my back foot's the same position. So if I'm here doing this, you don't know I'm inching in on you. You're not aware that I'm inching in on you. Because what I'm doing is I'm dropping height, and I'm leaning back, but my front foot is getting closer to you. My front foot's getting closer to you. That's the deception in boxing. So maybe, you know what? Let me make an adjustment here. Let me see if I can. I want to show you what I'm talking about. Oh, you still can't see my feet, can you? Hold on a second. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get you to see what I'm talking about. So I'm in the living room right now. Okay. Just gonna put this phone. You can't see that. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. It's a neighbor. Watch. I gotta show you guys. It's all an illusion. See, boxing's all about illusions. You gotta trick people. Oh man. I did martial arts combat. So I kinda understand some of the things that go on in boxing. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Okay. See if you can see. Can you see my feet? You can probably see my feet here, right? Oh shit. Oh well. Alright, so here I am. I'm standing, watching you side on. Okay? It's my stance. So if I want to get closer to you gradually, I don't know if you can see my feet, I can do like this. See, my back foot's the same place, but my front foot's inching in on you. And you're not aware I'm inching in on you. And the key to it is to lean back. So I'm leaning back like this. I'm leaning back like this, but look where my front foot is. I'm inched in, right? So that's the trick. So Canelo does something like that. Or sometimes he does like this. But you're not realizing he's inching in on you. At an angle, but he's inching in on you. See? So that's the trick. Oh. Okay. And that's part of boxing. That's part of boxing. That's why I say I love boxing, because it reminds me of martial arts I did. It reminds me of other things that I did in my life. If you guys ever played chess, it's chess, not checkers. That's just one of the little tricks in the game. Floyd used to do all of that too. So Floyd was very quick with it though. Another thing, so that's what Canelo does. That's what Mikey was doing, but he was circling Errol, but he was doing it sideways as well. So he's inching in, he's pivoting like this, right? Pivoting around Errol, and he was trying to inch in slowly. And this is part of boxing. This is part of boxing. Yeah. Let me finish what I'm doing. I gotta eat some food as well. Yeah, so what also you have to do is, with a fighter, you have to understand the lines, the angles of approach, right? And there's literally standard stuff. There's literally drills that you do to be able to go down certain lines. Errol knows about that though, so it's going to be a little harder to implement that against Errol, because Errol has beautiful pivot work. That's another thing. So there's the big pivot work, right? There's the big pivot work. Let's go like this. That's big. That's a big pivot. And then there's small pivot work like this. All right? And then there's this tricky pivot work. So I might do like this. But I'm testing my pivot. You can't see it, but my foot's turning as I stay. I'm on the same spot, but I'm literally doing this to test this pivot right here. Why? Because I want to actually jab off the pivot. So I'm testing the pivot. That's the jab off the pivot. Okay? People are saying Canelo is a... I didn't see the whole thing. Let me have a look at that. Okay, show me. Ah. Pooh B. Sistrunk. People are saying Canelo is a cheater. What are your thoughts on that? Nah, man. How's he a cheater? Oh. You mean the meat situation where he had stuff in his beef? Look, man. That's an issue I really can't honestly. I wouldn't honestly try to judge because I don't really know. Because I don't know Canelo to be a dirty fighter. You know, I remember barbershop conversations, alluding that Canelo's cheating, and now Vada picked up stuff inside of his system. So I mean, maybe he is, maybe he was, but he's been clean with Vada ever since. So, and Canelo himself was like, what the, he was like shocked. He was like, I don't cheat, I don't do that. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Here's the funny thing. Canelo was found clean by Vada in the second fight with Gennady Golovkin. In the first fight with Gennady Golovkin, Canelo was hardly touched, right? He wasn't even walking to Golovkin. He was beating him down every now and then he go boxing Golovkin, right? In the second fight, Canelo's walking Golovkin's ass down. So if Canelo's a cheat, remember, Vada tests you all year round. If Canelo's a cheat, and it's WBC approved, if Canelo's a cheat, man, then why was he walking down Golovkin? Huh? So I'm just saying, I don't know. If Vada caught him with stuff in the system, so be it. There's nothing I cannot defend that. All right? But he performed better than in the first fight against Golovkin, and Vada didn't find nothing in the system. So, all those excuses, I find that a lot of people make excuses for Golovkin, right? Who's Golovkin facing next? He got to deal with DAZN. Who's Golovkin facing next? Everybody was on Canelo. Oh, Canelo! Look, he's facing what's the guy's name? The 168-pound regular champion for the WBA. I forgot what the guy's name is. Look, he's running from Jacobs. He's going and fighting a bigger, taller champion. It's just stupid talk, right? Canelo goes, stops the guy, right? Gennady Golovkin's never done shit like that. He's never gone up to 168. Canelo's done it twice. One at a catch weight, one legitimate one with a legitimate champion, okay? Everybody's criticizing Canelo on his opponent. Lots of Canelo hate, right? But then, Gennady Golovkin's come and signed a deal with DAZN. Everybody's sucking on Gennady Golovkin's nuts. And guess what? Is Gennady Golovkin going in there and facing Demetrius Andrade? Is he going in there and facing a Danny Jacobs? Is he going in there and facing anybody who's fucking good at anything? There's other guys like, what's this guy's name? That faced Danny Jacobs, right? I forgot what his name is. He won't even face him. That guy was his mandatory. What's it? A Russian dude. I forgot what his name is. He faced Danny Jacobs. It was a good fight with Danny Jacobs. I forgot what his name is. Here comes Derevyanchenko. Why doesn't he face Derevyanchenko? Huh? Let him face Derevyanchenko. I mean, what do you got to lose? That was a decent guy that faced Danny Jacobs. Let's see if he can do better. Why doesn't he face Derevyanchenko? Hey, that's a DAZN fighter. So everybody gives fucking Gennady Golovkin a pass. But when it comes to Canelo, all of a sudden Canelo's public enemy number one. Oh yeah, Golovkin won both fights. And I hear fucking assholes say this. Guys who I have respect for in the business. I heard stupid Paul Inaji say, oh, he thought that Canelo lost to Golovkin. And then I hear stupid ass Danny Jacobs say, he thought Golovkin won both fights. Oh, shut the fuck up, Danny Jacobs. You know well Canelo beat his ass clearly in the second fight. Talking about Golovkin outboxed him. I'll box my ass. Look, man, if you're going to talk about jabs, then the jab is supposed to do something. It's supposed to keep the guy off of you. And Golovkin was a fucking punching bag. You look at him at the end of the fight, his face was messed up. And he's a bigger guy. Canelo couldn't get him out of there, right? But he tough. But he don't have defense like Mikey Garcia. But yet these motherfuckers saying, oh, Mikey Garcia's career is wrecked. But Golovkin beat Canelo? It's this fucking hypocrisy, man. And it's the same fucking people. And you know what? All these people have agendas, man. They got agendas. You know? They side with Errol Spence over Mikey Garcia. So Errol Spence had to knock out Mikey Garcia. Couldn't get the fucking knockout. Couldn't say man down. Alright? Because Mikey's defense was too good. It was too much on point. And even Errol admitted that. So now, you're going to try and say that Mikey's career has ended. You sound like a fucking asshole. Timothy Bradley, too. Joining on the hate train. Because you know Timothy Bradley was with Top Rank. And Andre Ward. These motherfuckers. I don't want to hear them. Right? I don't want to hear them. Because it's all political games they're playing. Yeah. And I'm just being real out here. I'm being real out here. Because I hate the bullshit. I don't like bullshitters. Right? And Barbershop Conversation, you know, he full of shit too. Because he went and said, you know, Andre Ward is trying to tear down Deontay Wilder. Get the fuck out of here, man. No, he wasn't trying to tear down. He was saying that Tyson Fury, he thought Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder. Everybody, I thought so. I mean, Tyson Fury won 10 rounds, man. What? Give me a round inside of the fight where Tyson Fury didn't win. Right? It's the ones where he got knocked down. That's it. Now, let's be fair to Deontay Wilder. He knocked him down hard in the 12th. He almost pulled it off. Right? He almost pulled it off. Kudos to Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury probably, now based on his actions, looked like he ain't won none of that. Because if I was Tyson Fury and I beat Deontay, I outboxed Deontay so badly, and especially where I got up in the 12th round and started beating his ass after I got knocked down, I would go back for a rematch and solidify, oh, y'all didn't think, you thought he knocked me down. Okay, let's do it again. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it again. You know, Deontay Wilder showed what Floyd Mayweather did on All True Champions. Oh, you thought I lost the fight? Let's do it again then. Let's do it again. You know what I'm saying? And that's the spirit that I give Deontay mad props for that. I give him mad props for that. I can't be mad at Deontay. And then the other thing I heard a lot of people saying after Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury, even though everybody looks bad when they face Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury makes you look like shit, like you can't box at all. Fucking Vladimir Klitschko, master fucking boxer, was a dud against Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder did a lot better. Oh man, come on, in the middle of my stream, man. Somebody trying to call me in the middle of my stream. I'm not gonna answer it because I'm streaming. Yeah, so you're gonna be interrupted by the phone. I just had to write it out here. Yeah, so I'm saying that Deontay Wilder, man, Deontay Wilder, he basically, you gotta give him props for touching Tyson Fury, getting to him and touching him, you know, and it was desperation. Again, when you look at Gabe Rosado, Solanke was outboxing his ass. I mean, dropped him all kinds of stuff. Dude got fire in his bones and went after him. Caught him with the overhand right. Now he's catching with the overhand right at periodic times during the fight. Caught him with the overhand right and started really just going at it. He dropped his ass twice. Almost stopped him in the 12th. My point being, you gotta, the will to win. Wilder said something gotta work, you know, and he hopped in, what we call a leaping right hook, left hook combination. It was just perfectly timed. And Tyson Fury did misjudge it, and he got hit. His defense was down. He got hit. He tried to roll it, and he got hit both ways. And I'm just saying, you got to look at that. You got to look at, you can't, you know, people are talking about how Wilder, he can't box. Wilder can box, okay? He can box, okay? He comes off the jab. He works everything off his jab, all right? He gets wild when he, you know, when he thinks he hurt somebody, he gets wild, okay? But Wilder can box. He can box, and he can box damn well. For that's why he's where he's at. It's not just because, right? So a lot of people underestimating Deontay Wilder, and these are the things that I have to point out in boxing. You know, I point out these things in boxing not because I'm trying to be fair, because I'm trying to get people to understand the fucking sport and not just talk out of their ass. You know, and sometimes these professionals, you know, even boxers themselves, they get very partisan and they don't really talk. Okay, Sugar Ray Leonard now, he backtracking his words. All right? Leonard's backtracking. He picked Mikey. He said because of Mikey. Don't backtrack the fucking words, man. Yes, I picked Mikey. I thought he was that good. But you know what? Errol Spence is better. He's better. He proved it. He beat him. Right? Just own it. Own it. You know? Own your stuff. Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko. I was fucking wrong about that. Lomachenko outboxed his ass. Made Rigondeaux quit. Okay? It's what it is. Don't run from it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. Own it. Be a man and move on. I was backing Mikey Garcia. Not because I thought he would win. How do I put it? Definitely. I didn't think other people going out on a limb and saying Mikey Garcia going to beat Errol Spence. I said, I ain't know about that. This is a 50-50 fight. In fact, I said, you heard me say it tonight, especially after I saw how the shape Errol was in. I said, you know what? Because people saying he dehydrated and stuff. And I was like, nah, he ready. They both ready. I said to people that Errol had the advantage. He works the body to break you down. And he's the guy who has the advantage with the reach. Right? So those are the two things I said. You can go and look at my earlier videos. You see how I said that. But I said I'm still backing Mikey. And I think it was a 50-50 fight. It turned out it was not a 50-50 fight. Even though there was a lot of jousting going on in there. Little mini wars. It was not a 50-50 fight. Errol had the advantage over Mikey every step of the way. Mikey was real. Acknowledged it. He said this guy is the truth. I like that. I like that about Mikey Garcia. It wasn't a guy that turned around and then like Pacquiao and other guys was a sore fucking loser. No, this guy has class. This guy has dignity. He has graciousness. So I don't want to hear nothing from nobody about Mikey Garcia. Shut the fuck up about him. You know, this stuff keep on popping up. I'm not seeing nothing. It popped up. Poobie sits drunk. You said that Canelo's a cheater. What do you think about that? Somebody just made a comment or something. Not seeing anything. I'm sure a lot more of you guys may be talking, but oh. Okay, I see you now. Insane Fighter says that's true. GGG gets a pass. GGG gets a pass from his racist CompuBox fans. Yep. It's so true, bro. If only we can chat on Hangout together. Oh, you want to do a Hangout? Oh, shit. Yeah, man. We can do that. What I'm going to do tonight, I'm trying to come in tonight, and we can do a Hangout, man. I love talking boxing with people. I don't talk as much. I talk now because, you know, I take up the time and the space, but I prefer to hear other people talk. We were in Pound for Pound Boxing Report. I don't know if Pound for Pound Boxing Report came out this week yet. I gotta go pay some bills, folks. I gotta go deal with a birthday party, so I gotta split. But and this lady's 100 years old. I'm supposed to be dealing with parking and shit. I just couldn't. My body was just kind of tired. I haven't gone out and worked in a long time. Been grieving my mom and all of that shit. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy. But you know, I just wanted to talk to you guys about boxing and stuff. You know, because it's a good sport in a way. It's a blood sport. Not really cool, but it's a good sport in a way because I can show you guys how much more it is than just, you know, blood, guts, and I don't know, it was crazy. And just be like crazy wild people. It's not that. Boxing's not that, and it's not. It's not that either. You know, it's a lot more. It's not primitive. It's not shitty. There's a lot more to it. And when you know a little bit more about martial arts and stuff, you know how to use these weapons. You know, it's cool. You know, so that's why. And it's all about balance. It's all in your feet, in your hips. You see, it's all about balance. Just like how it takes you. So there are different drills. So you have the squat in a drill, for instance, and you're just doing this. You know you gotta get your guard back. Right? This is if you're keeping your guard up here. Right? How to throw your punches properly. How to sit in your stance. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit in boxing, man. It's very, very tiring. I started training for boxing, doing my cardio and shit, and all the fucking ab work you gotta do, and with the oh shit, it's all the neck work and shit. It's a lot of resistance training and all kinds of shit you have to do. You have to be in ridiculous shape to do boxing. If you really want to be top tier and stuff, it's a lot of work, man. And I'm not, this is me, right? I'm not I'm not in the best shape in the world. I'm out of shape. 44 years old. You know what I'm saying? Need to start back my cardio. I'm not in the greatest shape in the world, but boxing, man, it gave me ridiculous shape because when you start to really do boxing and you start doing those rounds, if you sparring, man, if you're not used to throwing punches, like I'm not used to throwing punches a lot. So you see, I started sweating as soon as I got in the stance because you have to get in the stance. You can't stand. No boxer stands perfectly straight up. You gotta get into your stance. All right, if you speak side on, you can sit in it. You gotta be balanced in your stance, right? Whether it's this way, whether it's a wide stance, whether it's a tall stance. All right. So some guys do like this. I like to stay in the southpaw stance, right? And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fucking work, man. I tell you, you get a lot of respect for boxers because it's probably the most ridiculous cardio you can get in boxing. Because you have to have that cardio. You have to have that. See, my body's nice and soft. It's not. I mean, I go and I sell water and stuff, so I get ridiculous cardio. So I get smaller as the days go by. I put on a lot of size because I've been just resting and eating. But I'm like 170, maybe 172, 173 pounds. But when I'm really moving around and doing shit, I'm like 160. But fighting shape for me, if I have to fight, I'm 6 feet tall, I'm about 5'11". If I have to go box, then I have to be 154. So that means I have to lose 6 more pounds. All right? When I'm really in decent shape, because I can go all the way down. I've gone down to 127, but I get like a skeleton. I'm small, And I when I was fasting and stuff, I got down to 127. I was running all kinds of shit. I was real streamlined. Like I was real. There was nothing extra on me, in terms of fat. I stripped down to 127. So that's why I know big dudes who walking around 154. Some of them, 154 pounders could actually be super featherweights. You could start off at super featherweight. Featherweight's kind of pushing it, I don't think I can get lower than 127. I've never been lower than 127. But when you see me in 127, I look like a fucking skeleton. I look really small. And I'm, of course, not as strong, all of that stuff. Yeah, I stripped down. I lost 170, 127. I lost how many pounds there? That's about... What's that? That's 43 pounds. No. 43 pounds. Yeah, about 43 pounds. I lost 43 pounds. So it's possible for a guy to do that. But you're not healthy. You're not healthy. You can't take punishment with that. That pretty much hurts you. So that's why I said 154 is probably the appropriate weight. I dry down to 154. I get back up to about 160, 162, 164, 165. Yeah, and I'm comfortable. I'm really, like right now, I'm 170, 172, 173, maybe even 175. I feel very sluggish. I feel very tired. My body has a weight on it. I look big. I look filled out and everything. But my body has a weight on it. You know what I'm saying? And I eat now 2 meals a day. I don't eat 2 meals a day. And if I'm pushing really heavy cardio, heavy stuff, maybe 3 meals a day. I eat big sometimes I eat small. I have to get back in a regimen of eating a certain size. Basically, food is just fuel. That's really it. How you do your cardio may determine. You could eat a lot of food and still be losing weight. And that's because you're doing so much cardio or you're stressed out or something. And so you could actually be losing weight while you're eating so much. So my mom had cancer and she was losing weight and stuff. And yeah, so it's all that could be a factor as well. And you guys got to stay healthy. One thing about boxing is it'll keep you healthy if you do the right things. You don't want to be going out there drinking and smoking. You don't want to be going out there eating a whole set of sweets. You don't want to be going out there, putting in your body excess fat and grease. You want to put in healthy, wholesome things. And that's why, when boxers are training, or, like Floyd, throughout his life, he'd be eating certain things and so on. Even though Floyd would eat a burger or two, you want to eat healthy as much as possible. You want to keep the body clean and pure. You want to also, you would hear Coach Eric Bradley, and let me just say, guys, if you gotta go to a channel, go to Francis channel, go to Eric Bradley's Master Boxing channel. These guys break it down, what fighting is really about, what boxing is really about, how complex it is. It's little things. That's why we talk about a difference between being skilled and being talented. There's a difference between skilled and talented. You know what I'm saying? You can be a talented fighter, but that's because you're talented. But being skilled is where you're running different drills. You're running drills. You're running drills. You're running certain things. You're learning it, you're refining it, you're working it. See, what I just did there is wrong. That's because I'm not skilled. You understand what I'm saying? That's the wrong way to throw a jab. That's the wrong way to move backwards. I understand the general principle, but when you have to actually do it, it's totally different to the general idea, the specifics about how to block a shot, how to block it and block it properly, how to throw a jab and throw it properly, to vary the speed off a jab. That's the subtlety. We won't go there. Let's just go to basics. Throwing a jab and throwing it properly. You see, some people like to throw a jab like this. That's not proper. All right, you're gonna throw a jab. Throw it right there. Straight. Leave them. All right. I can lean in. If I lean in, I better be quick enough to either block, and my blocking wasn't proper either. I gotta block, lean back, block it, or lean back, block it. Right? Again, I didn't do it properly. I can see my chin still. So, throw in the jab. Throw in the jab. Bop, 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 bop. Right? Now, if you throw in the jab, shout out to you guys, man. If you throw in the jab, you better come back, and your chin mustn't be sticking out. Throw it again. Right? Now you see I'm leaning in, but my chin is tucked. You know what I'm saying? It's just the principle of the thing. I'm not saying that, you have to do it that way. In fact, I'm still probably doing a lot of things wrong. Okay? And the professionals will tell me what really you should do. Bob and weave, throw the jab. Or, now I'm probably throwing it a little wide, right? But the idea is bobbing and weaving, throwing the jab. Stepping around, throwing the jab. Pivoting, throwing the jab. In close fighting. So I'm up on you like this. Right? Man, that thing burns. It's a lot of cardio just doing that shit. Right? You step around, throw the jab. Yeah. Hey, there's a lot to boxing. I haven't even started talking about. But I will tell you guys this though. Learn to pivot. Even more important than bouncing around the ring. Bouncing is important. There are times when you need to bounce. If you don't know how to bounce, it could be detrimental to your health sometimes, because you need to get out of there at a certain point. And you need that burst of speed. So for instance, guy coming at me, I'm gonna be orthodox with that. He got me up in the corner and I do so, right? Right? Gotta learn to bounce. All right, shuffle. All right, so let me show you the shuffle. So the shuffle is, let me do it again. It's like a bounce, but you see boxers do it when they come into each other in the ring. They shuffle to each other. That's a shuffle. All right, bouncing is. That's bouncing. Boy, that's a burnout. But that's how awfully out of shape I am. Pivot. Why pivot? All right, pivot. All right, slip and slide. All right, slip and slide. Slip in, slip out. Floyd does that really, really fast. Very precise with the slip and slide. All right, and then bob and weave. Bob and weave. Slip. Ha! Right? Now slip. All right. You slip and counter. Slip and roll. Slip and roll. All right, slip and roll. All right, there's lots of shit. That's a shit to boxing. All right, and we can punch. We have all kinds of punches. We have the spleen shot, liver shot, uppercut, spear jab, straight jab. Hook off the jab, hook off the jab. Hook, hook, hook. All right, we got the feint. I feint as if I'm going to go right. I go left. Yeah, there's all that shit. Woo! This old man, I feel old now. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. When you put it all together, because it's there are different elements to boxing. When you put it all together, it gets interesting. And that's where boxers, they look at another boxer, or they train all the time, spar all the time. If you spar all the time, train all the time, you ain't need to really study no boxer because you gain all the training inside of the sparring and you're seeing all these different looks, all these different things. So your mind now can adjust. It's about getting adjustments, adapting to a fighter, adjusting to him, you know. Some people study tape on other fighters. It's good. But you know, sometimes the fighter got other attributes that you don't know about. Like Errol Spence showed us some other stuff we didn't know about him, right? So I mean, well, I've seen him box Lamont Peterson a little bit, but not like how he did Mikey Garcia. It was good, great performance on his part in shutting him out. All right, guys, I gotta go. But it's nice talking to you guys. Like I said, get into the sport of boxing. Go in the gym. You know, you got to do your cardio. Shit, the ab work is crazy. You know, there's all kinds of ab work. But what I used to do... Hold on a second. I'll show you. I ain't done this in a long time, so I ain't know... This might hurt me, but just using this for my hands. Just to show you the ab work. The ab work. Anyway, I do ab work like that shit. I do all my abs, leg pull-ups, pull myself up, down, while doing the leg pull-ups. Sometimes get my legs all the way up this way, all the way up that way. Then it's just in fold. You know, I haven't done that shit in a while. Then I go the other way, pull-ups, and I pull myself up like this. Tuck the legs, let the legs go up, and then do squats. I do my cardio. You know, that shit. And then I learned from our coach Eric Bradley that you have to learn what's called a box step. I'm learning the southpaw stance. So you must be able to do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright? So everywhere you're going, you're still in the stance. If I'm a southpaw stance, I'm here. Uh-oh, did it wrong. Alright? So that's the box step. Now that teaches you how to do go forward, go sideways, go backward. And you gotta get really good. And see, my stance is very weak. I have a weak stance. So if a guy was to punch me, boop, I might fall over this way. Okay, so if a guy's coming with a hook, you can do like this. Right? And you'll miss you. Whoop! Okay? If a guy's coming with an uppercut, go back. Snap back. This is a snap back. Let me show you from the side. Like lean back. Right? You can pick it off too. If you wanted to. Pick it off. Alright? So, there's all that shit in boxing. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fucking work. Alright guys. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Gotta get out of here.